Bienvenue. Welcome to the M&I's podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host.
Hi guys, this is Isaiah. Nice to meet you.
So, before we begin, I just want to say we have structured our podcast a little better now. So, we'll begin our podcast with boxing news, followed by the stupid statements of the week, then MMA news, and lastly, we'll add, depending on how important it is, some other news on it. So, this is going to be the structure of the show moving forward. So before we begin, let me give the floor to Isaiah for his announcements.
Oh hell yeah. So as you know, we're still starting out, we're fairly new. But um, if you end up enjoying our content, even if you hate it, I do not care. You subscribe, man. I'm talking to you, the person that actually does not like our content. You subscribe anyway, man. You subscribe, you like, and you comment, and you let us know how to improve our format because that's how we're doing every single week, and we are pretty consistent and we are improving because, from the analytics that I just saw the last time that we were editing the last episode, the the numbers have increased about 50%. We went from like from like
Zero.
three listeners, zero listeners to like three listeners, and now we're at like a whopping what 16 or something, like around there. Was it
Yep.
12?
I think we're around like 16 now
Oh hell yeah, we're
and
around
like
16.
10 active
There.
listeners.
Oh hell yeah, we got 10 people, bro. We got 10 people actually listen to this. You know what that calls for, bro? I will move my, I will move. Fuck, where did I live? I live in some boxes, and then Mark lived behind. I forgot what exactly where we live. Okay, I live. Oh yeah. I live by the library in a box, and then Mark lives like behind the trash can at the bus station. Bro, we are moving up in the world. We're gonna move to the fucking homeless shelter. Okay, we're moving up in the world, guys, because this is our singular line of income, and I hope that you enjoy as we talk about
Hmm.
everything and anything. Mostly right now we talk about MMA boxing stuff, but if you do like what we cover and just how we are, go ahead and subscribe. We'll be here. And on to what we usually do in this segment is three mental health tips. I hope you have some water. I hope you have something that keeps you sane. And in this segment, we talk about just three mental health tips that you can follow um, to better your life. And of course, this is from the mentalhealthofamerica.org. First mental health tip of the day is set up a getaway. It could be camping with your friends or a trip to anywhere really. It's just the act of planning a vacation, doing anything other than work or something that you don't like doing. Um, it is shown to it could boost your overall happiness, and for up to 8 weeks. I have no idea where they're getting these numbers, but it does sound like a good idea to get away, even though even if you don't have friends, bro. Just go somewhere. Do something. Go to McDonald's. I don't care. Go to Burger King. Just look outside. Touch grass, bro. It's good for you. Number seven. Number two, sorry. Um Number two, which is tip number seven in the website, is experiment. So experiment with a new recipe or try something different. Write, read, paint, play a game, just experiment with things that you don't necessarily do because it boosts your creativity. This is especially true if you're in boxing. You don't want to be caught with something that you do all the time because that they can read you and they just have a plan for you all the time. So if you switch it up, it's harder to read you, and you just become a better fighter overall. And finally, the last tip that I have for you this week is relax in a warm shower, a bath if you're bougie. We can't afford the bath. We just shower in the rain. But relax in that shower once a week. And if you add throw a bath bomb in there, I don't care. and it helps to boost magnesium levels, which can be depleted by stress. So, if levels are low, add a bath bomb in there, or just take a warm shower, or both. It's good for you. Helps you relax. Also helps you when you go to sleep because your temperature tends to cool down and allows your body to relax a lot better. And I will give the floor back to Mark.
Yeah, man. Just take time to relax. Play some games. Whatever makes you happy. You know, that's a good
Of
thing to
course.
do.
Oh yeah.
Listen to sad music. Um, that's how I
Wallow in
relax.
yourself. Make the room dark.
Yeah,
Have
man.
a just think about her and you
Yeah,
guys should
just
call
have
her.
like pictures of your former lover up, and listen to Joji's glimpse of us, and look at your current girlfriend. You're like, damn. I'm, I'm just joking. I'm just
Guys,
joking.
if you haven't heard the glimpse of us, that is the opposite of healing, man. That'll get you somewhere that you do not want to be, my friend.
High
But if you want
key.
to, yeah, if you want to be there though, go listen to that. It's
No, so
called,
like dead ass. My girlfriend heard that song, and then she
yeah.
started asking me. She was like, "Do you still think about her?" I was like, "Oh my god, Joji, stop! You're ruining my relationship." Yeah, so
The answer should be no,
yeah, I said no, but
Mark.
then she looked at me in the eye and she's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes, I'm sure." No.
Bro, my girlfriend asks me, it's like, babe, would you still love me if I was dirt? Like,
I can see your girlfriend saying
yeah, like,
that.
wait, babe, would you love me if I was dirt? Like,
Hey man, it is what it is, you know. But let's get into the meat
all
and
right,
potatoes of this podcast. Let's get down and dirty, starting with the most dirtiest boxing organization possible. So, the Association of Boxing Commission has made the following statements regarding the recent allegations that third parties are connected with the WBA, which is the World Boxing Association, which is a boxing organization and they hold a boxing belt. That the WBA is receiving payments in exchange for giving the fighters rankings.
oh,
So, so this is what America's Association of Boxing Commission has said about this thing. So they said if these allegations against the WBA are proven true, the ABC will take action and will not welcome the WBA in the United States. If these allegations are true, the ABC will take drastic steps and actions and will issue a press release notifying everyone that the WBA will not be welcome in the United States. The ABC was formed by the United States federal government for reasons of fairness and safety. So this is coming from the president of the Association of Boxing Commissions, Mike Mazzulli. Man, that
oh
is
man,
quite a big thing. So,
dude.
Isaiah, what do you think about this? Is the WBA pretty much fucked?
I mean, I think that's the main issue with boxing. Well, first of all, you can't. Me personally, you can't just go off of allegations. I need to see some.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see some like paper trail proof
Yeah.
or some kind of testimony saying that those things are true. If that's the case, then hell yeah, that would like change to the whole direction of that story. But everyone can make an allegation. I can make an allegation. Mark's gay.
That's not an allegation. That's the truth.
Anyway, but like the um what do you call the I just lost my train of thought with that. But yeah, I would say that's just the an issue with boxing as a sport in general is that there's so many organizations of uh within boxing, and
Mm-hmm.
there's so many promoters and stations that play their own form or their own um, section of boxing that it's really hard to pin down on things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So corruption is a lot easier when there's multiple organizations. For example, in the UFC, I
Yes.
wouldn't say there's not corruption, but it's a lot less and it's a lot harder to do that because there's a lot the like basically the biggest MMA promoter is the UFC. I mean, sure, there's Pride and One, but they're so much smaller than the UFC. That the UFC is harder to pull off that kind of corruption. Um, and so if that's true, man, that's fucked. And but I would say that's fucked for the people who are trying to get paid to go into a specific ranking, because if that's the case, they're gonna meet a lot of people who are real and they're just gonna get fucked up just because they're rich. You know what I mean? Like, just because you got in there from from help
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you're gonna last. And there are people um who actually want to be there, who have the skills to beat anyone in there.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a tough time. So I if it's corrupt, that's just old as boxing itself. And then number two, that there should really be a more formalized form of boxing that is just under a little bit more under a close umbrella than the WBA, WBC ringside. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's so many, too many.
I mean, my personal opinion is I'm not surprised. The WBA has been like embroiled in so many scandals and allegations that I was like, it's a matter of time before someone will actually be like, you know what, you're done, you're canceled. Because if you there's been I can't really recall who said this, but I knew it was published by one of the boxing publishers, boxing news networks, saying that the president of the WBA uh, has been linked to favoring and promoting only Venezuelan fighters because he is from Venezuela. So he's been linked to that. And if you ever look at the rankings sometimes, you're like, how did that person who is not ranked, who is an unknown, has become number one contender and has leapfrogged over everyone else? Right? You just it's very fishy when you start looking deeper and deeper into it. And
Mm.
I just I just think that most of the boxing organizations, particularly the WBA and the WBC, is notoriously known for corruption and very fishy activity. You know, the
Mm.
WBC particularly, they like to create random belts from thin air. They're like the franchise belt, the franchise champion. Now you're the diamond champion. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
What does that
I know.
mean?
And they just
I'm the
they like pull out things from thin air, and they're like, "You are now champ." And I was like, and
I'm the
that's
Walmart I'm the Walmart 4th of July sale belt holder.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's a matter of time until like I wouldn't say it's on the people, it's practically on the boxers to finally be like, you know, we have enough. We're gonna focus in. We're gonna make our own association. You know, like in every organized sport here in the United States, we have like the NFL and the NBA. They have their own players association. that creates their structure on what they want. And I think it's a
Mm.
matter of time for that to happen. Because I know Floyd Mayweather has been speaking about this quite a bit, saying that there's too many belts, and it's just very confusing for people because there's going to be so many champions when there should only be one champion, you know? But it is very confusing, and I think it's a matter of time before the players are like, your belt is no longer relevant because we're going to form our own association where we control who is the champ for this division or who the champ is for that division,
Mm.
as well as. But I think that's still kind of difficult, primarily because there's so many networks. Again,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's the issue. Is like there's so many networks and there's so many individual promoters as well. So,
You just have to have all of them align. That's
well,
you're trying to put the four nations of harmony together, bro. Like,
actually, Usyk actually partook in this competition. Was it the Muhammad Ali boxing competition where they had
Mhm.
all the top contenders from each of the divisions come and compete in this like tournament style thing
Mhm.
where the winner at the end becomes the undisputed champion, right? I think it was like the top 3 on each of the divisions. So there's 4, so then they all faced each other until the final eliminator, right? And
Mm.
I think that would be much more beneficial than having multiple multiple groups of people trying to battle it out if they still would like to keep their belts and stuff.
Mm. Yeah. I I just if it just needs to get tight and smaller. That's what she said. It's yeah, there's just the sport as in general just has to be more concise with more meaningful titles.
Yeah. Well,
So that's just it.
yeah. Well, the WBA is just horrible, and to actually really properly explain how horrible the WBA is, there is an actual article here. So this judge, Gloria Rizzo, um, she's back to scoring boxing matches when she outwardly, on numerous occasions, have called African Americans and black fighters racial slurs, to say the
Oh
least.
shit.
And she scored a fight, a highly contested fight, so significantly outrageously for one side of the fighters that it was just very off. And man, then people started going deeper into her own private life, and she's placed so many things on her social media and her Twitter at the time, calling President Obama a monkey and stuff like that, like completely like left field. And she's been recently rehired by the WBA to start scoring their fights again.
Damn.
Yeah, it's so bad, man. Like
Oof.
she can't be objective. She can't be objective, or yeah, objective towards the fight because she herself has her own agenda. Yeah, so this is why the WBA, in my honest opinion, is absolutely one of the worst organizations in boxing. So it is what it is, man. Sucks to suck.
That okay.
Yeah, so again, if you guys want to further read into this, it is on worldboxingnews.net. And
Got it.
they have other articles on their website about this issue. So, on to our next topic, which is the former WBC champion Deontay Wilder's representatives have announced a possible comeback fight for the former champ. Um, So my question to you is, who would you like him to fight next, Isaiah?
Yeah, bro. Why don't you go out and why don't you call out Tyson Fury again, and then just die,
Man,
bro. Cause like I don't know. I feel like I feel like Deontay Wilder has amazing amazing power. Like I'm talking flash knockout, one of the most, if not the most dangerous punch in boxing, especially since he's a heavyweight. And if he could figure out how to stylistically increase his repertoire, he'd be insanely dangerous. Um, I don't know. I think like just the person singular that he's been fighting, Tyson Fury has like really shown how much he relies on that, overhand or straight right. Um or even like jabbing. He has a really nice jab too. Stabbing, and it's long. It's so fucking long. He could like be from one side of the ring to the other and just jab it at just a reach. Um I don't want to see him fight. I don't. Nah, it's maybe like someone a little bit more, not quite as elusive, and um there's like god tier stamina as um as Fury, Tyson Fury, because we already know how that ended up three times. Probably I like to see Anthony Joshua a little bit more, someone a little bit more stronger build, but what's that word? All rounder. Yeah, I would say a little bit more all rounder, just someone who can who can test the waters of if Deontay Wilder has a bigger kit than just those two punches. So I would say Anthony Joshua. That'd be a pretty good one.
you know who I want him to fight next? I want him to fight Joe Joyce.
Oh,
Right, that man, he has a chin. He has a beard on him, and he comes forward. So I really
uh,
want to know if he really has that power, because Tyson Fury is, as we all can agree, is a freak, right? But all the other fighters Deontay Wilder has fought have been, I don't want to be disrespectful, but they've been tomato cans.
oof.
They haven't been known, right? They're just regular guys. Like his resume is very padded. Um
Mm.
and I think the question is if his power really is elite, you know, if is as elite as his resume portrays. And Joe Joyce has an amazing chin, and he is a very pressure heavy style. So I want to know if, Deontay Wilder can negate that pressure, and if he can land that right hand, and if he can crack that man's chin and knock him out, then I'll be like, yo, his power is elite, dog. Like, yeah,
Well, I
it's,
mean, wait, was we talked about this like weeks ago, but was Joe Joyce the one who had that
yeah, he had a very pushing
um
jab.
pushing jab? Like it was
Yeah,
really weird to see. Like he
yeah,
basically just take everything with his chin, but he'd like his punches would be so slow, but they would just do
so much
dummy
damage.
damage.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, like
damn.
okay.
Yeah, and I just want to see if Deontay Wilder can be as elusive and, sustain that constant pressure, as well as deliver the punishment on Joe Joyce. You know, so we can see. Not only that, but it's also, I wouldn't call Joe Joyce a tune-up fight, but it would also be a nice test for Deontay Wilder as well for Joe Joyce, both of them. And then I would have him move up to fight the top contenders again. Because if he loses back to back top contenders, then a lot of people are gonna be like, "Yo, he's not really that elite." That. I'd rather have him build up
No,
some
that's true.
confidence before he takes that.
I swear to
Especially after
God,
getting by
if Joe Joyce can
beat.
quite literally push his way through Deontay Wilder,
I'll be like, "Yo, this man's
yeah, I'll be
really."
like, yo, that guy's goaded.
Yeah, because I'm watching him fight, and his punches looks like it's like slow mo. Like
Yeah, I've
everyone in
seen
the
it.
audience can see it coming, but when it lands hard, and like you see the damage on the man's face. I'm like, how? How?
Maybe it's because it's so slow, they just get lulled by it. They just
No, but
get
like,
they get thrown into a trance. Like, well, that looks cool.
yeah,
And then they
it's
just
like everything like slows down so much when you see him throw that jab, and it like just slowly pokes the man's face. And when he pulls that hand out, the man's orbital bone is completely destroyed. I'm like, how? What? But yeah, I'd love to see that fight between the two of them because Deontay Wilder has power and Joe Joyce has a chin. So let's see how that
yeah.
goes. If he can crack it, if Deontay Wilder can crack that granite chin that Joe Joyce has, I'd be like, damn, this guy's dangerous.
The tractor,
Yeah, dude, the
the
tractor
fucking
versus
tractor,
a
bro.
freaking Mack truck. Who's gonna win? uh,
That would okay. I do like that. I completely forgot that he hasn't been in the boxing game ever since
his
Tyson
loss.
Fury.
Yeah, it's been like
Yeah.
what, almost a year now.
When did they fight? That was sometime last year though,
Yeah, it's
right?
2021. Yeah, it's almost.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been almost a
Okay.
year. Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, freaking Deontay Wilder, go after Joe Joyce. I think that'd be a good fight for you.
That would be a good fight. I agree.
So, what isn't a good fight, however, is Andy Ruiz has told the boxing scene that after his win or after his fight with Luis Ortiz, he would like to fight Deontay Wilder next.
Oh
So,
hell no.
what do you think about this possible matchup? And who do you favor in this fight, Isaiah?
Uh okay. So from Andy Ruiz's style, he's a stockier fighter
Mm-hmm.
who has really good up close combo rushes. As we saw from like the first fight between him and Anthony Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
He got um he has the shorter reach, right, compared to Anthony Joshua, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Just bigger frame. So he got past the jab, got inside, through like the nicest 1-2, 1-2-3 combos,
That
super fast, insanely powerful because of his weight distribution and his padding on for body shots. Um, it was nuts. It was nuts to watch. If if Andy Ruiz can get past Wilder's jabs and rights, I don't think Tyson, not Tyson. I don't think Deontay Wilder can handle the the combos on the inside because his arms are so long. Can you imagine like trying to just have every time you throw that you have to like it takes a couple seconds to reload and he's already inside. So yeah, he has a chance on that, but if he doesn't, uh, that's gonna be over maybe round one or two, if I had to guess for Andy Ruiz. If he cannot slip, if he cannot roll underneath those, or at least block it hard enough to where it slides off to the like angles it off like a tank, he's gonna fall. It's gonna be bad.
So here's my thing. All right, watching Andy Ruiz, he doesn't have a lot of head movement.
Yeah, he's.
He's a very like come forward type of fight. It's a very slow come forward type of fighter too.
I mean, that's probably just Mexican boxing, right? That's like the
Well,
stylistic
I just think it's his
stylistic
weight.
choice.
I think it's his weight.
Oh, you think it's a weight?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for his weight, and his trainer like really pushed the idea of having better footwork, then I would be like, yeah, hell yeah, fucking Andy Ruiz every day, all day, every week. But 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 I haven't seen him with this new weight loss he's had,
mm.
and I'm very curious to see if they're gonna work on footwork or head movement, and if they
Yeah, I wonder.
do,
I wonder if his head movement, because of that weight loss, could form like just better reactions.
yeah. So
So
it all depends on how he looks after this fight. If if he looks terrible and he still wins, I'll be like, Deontay Wilder's gonna put this man in a body bag. He's gonna send this man out on a freaking stretcher if they fight. But if Andy Ruiz shows that he has head movement, great footwork, can go inside the jab and get inside his opponent's space and throws combinations to the body and the head, then I'll be like, yo, Andy Ruiz got it. Because Deontay Wilder has a very weird blocking style to me.
mm.
He doesn't really block his body all that well. And in addition to that, he has like a really long body. And that's like so much real estate for someone who gets inside to really
Yeah.
start throwing to the body. And And if Andy Ruiz can still use his very low center of mass to just like bully Wilder to the ropes, then yeah, I could see Ruiz winning it. But until then, I'm gonna stick my choice in the fight is I would say Andy Ruiz. Primarily, he
hmm
has much more room to improve, as well
Yeah.
as more time for me to see his improvements into a fight. While Wilder, I haven't seen him in a fight, and if he's coming back, he has to have either a tune-up fight or someone really easy, or someone where he can like really hone in some skills, something new, to where I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Maybe like he's such a lanky fighter. I'm trying to figure out what he could do to improve aside from just
well, I think what he
being
needs to
elusive
do
enough.
is if his opponent is coming in like a very shorter opponent, I think the best weapon for like a shorter, stockier opponent coming in low is an uppercut.
Yeah. If they're far enough away,
Yeah, if they're far
I
enough
think.
away, which I think he can learn. I think he has enough
Yeah.
leverage to do it right and can knock someone out coming in with an
I
uppercut.
I think if Deontay Wilder were to utilize feints to draw out
Yeah,
a slip,
yeah.
then he can keep him away because he could just feint and then watch the slip, and if he misses
Hmm.
like the follow up shot on that, like let's say he jabs, or like he feints and then Andy Ruiz like feint like does um a slight slip to the left, and then Deontay Wilder like jabs again at that location, but then misses, and he gets away, and then he just kind of keeps playing that game the whole time. Then Andy Ruiz will have a really hard time closing the distance. But if he gets close, then you just have to stay away. He's such a lanky fighter.
Yeah, he
Deontay Wilder
is.
is just a lanky fighter, and I feel like pretty sure that's the game he has to play. Um, Andy Ruiz just has to keep doing what he's doing, just with more elusiveness, better slips, maybe even feints himself too, just to feint a block of some sort, just to be able to close the distance. It's yeah, it's a tough game.
It is a tough one for this one,
Yeah,
especially the two different styles.
very different.
But I'm picking Ruiz on this one.
Yeah, I'll pick Ruiz too.
If this fight does happen, I'm picking Ruiz.
I'll pick Ruiz. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure he works really well against taller fighters too, because that's all he has.
Yeah, he's pretty
So
short for his division.
yeah. So I'm all on you. I'm all on you on that one too.
All right. So, in terms of another heavyweight, Anthony Joshua just arrived in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, to complete the final weeks of his training camp ahead of the rematch. Usyk is still in Dubai training. So, are you ready for the rematch? And are you still picking your choice?
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Also, my bad for any family trying to have their kids watch this. We are explicit. Um, we are not. We are not a family friendly channel. I mean, sure, we're family, brother. We family. We're family, but
No, this is not Alabama, bro.
this, this ain't this ain't Sunday school, my friend. We ain't here to have nice words, but I would
Oh
say
yeah.
I would still have Usyk. I'd be I've watched the stare down. I know the stare down doesn't really mean much in terms of the fight, but that man has seen some things,
That man has
and
killed some people.
that man has killed some people, not told anybody. And I will have Usyk. I'm pretty sure because it's always harder. I feel for the how do I say that? I would in opposition to what I just said, I would say that it's harder for a person defending to do something completely new in comparison to someone who has lost before, and all they have to do is change up their style to 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 figure out the fight that they just fought, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
if I failed a test, all I have to do is study and beat the same test again to get a better score. But it's harder for the test to like do something completely different and be comfortable with it. And defend that. So it's a little harder for Usyk because he's on that end, but I still have Usyk on that winning card for me.
Bro, I'm sticking with my boy, AJ.
We have money on this, right? Like I don't know, a dollar.
You want to do a dollar?
Yeah, do a dollar.
Uh, Freaking
Yeah,
poor, bro. So
we'll
subscribe,
Venmo each other
subscribe.
a dollar.
um, no, I'd pick AJ on this one primarily because there was a clip of they had a video clip of them after their first fight, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were hugging each other, and they actually were able to get like an audio clip from AJ. He
Ooh.
looked at Usyk in the eye and said, "I know how to beat you now." It's like, do you want to run this back again? And Usyk, all he did was smile and give AJ a hug.
Bro, I'm not sure if he understood what he
I
said.
know, I
He's
know.
like, he's just like, what? Good
He's like, "Good luck," but
luck. I don't know what you just said, but
yeah. But the thing
yeah.
is, Usyk has never had an opponent do a rematch with him.
Oh, nice.
Right? He hasn't had one. This is his first one where he would have had a rematch with an opponent in his pros. I mean, in the amateurs, there have been so many, but in the pros, it's completely different. And knowing Anthony Joshua, he's a type of person who's like, if he did a mistake, he's like, all right, I'm gonna fix that. Very similar to how he fixed a bunch of the mistakes and a lot of criticisms he got and the Ruiz rematch. They're like,
True.
oh, Anthony Joshua doesn't have footwork. Anthony Joshua doesn't have head movement. That's why he got caught. Dot, dot, dot. whatever. He doesn't know how to use his jab. He doesn't know how to hold. He's always a
Mm-hmm.
front runner. All this, and in the Ruiz rematch, he showed footwork. He showed improved head movement. He used his jab and right hands the whole time. He like when Andy Ruiz got close, he was able to tie up and then walk him back to the middle of the ring, and then redo, rinse and repeat the whole thing again. Um,
Mm.
but with Usyk, I think he saw what he did to him. I think it was in the middle rounds, 6 or 7, where he hit Usyk with a left hand to the body, and he saw Usyk crumble, like crimple up to that side of his body. And I think it's going to be a lot closer. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Joshua knocks him out in the 10th round.
We're picking the round already?
Yeah, we'll pick a
Hell,
round.
hell no. No,
What are you going to say?
I
Usyk's going to knock AJ out?
no, bro. I would
Well,
say, right, Anthony Joshua's visual, right, like observable ish, a visual problem that I saw was at some certain point, if the plan doesn't start working and he doesn't have the confidence to come up with another plan that works. Um, we saw this in the Usyk and Anthony Joshua fight before that. Like once the plan stopped working, he resorted to like just like pop shots almost, you know. Like there was no visual plan. It was mainly just like keep him away, uh, just keep him away, just keep him away. Try to figure out something, see anything open, figure keep him away, kind of thing. And you could see it in his eyes. He just kind of like gave up a little or got tired or gave up at that point. Um, he's like, damn, I really can't figure this out. Fuck, kind of look. And if he has that in the second one, then it's gonna have the same effect as the first one, the same outcome. So
no, 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 no. I
if he
believe.
can't figure out Usyk, then you're gonna get that.
I believe, man. I
You
believe.
believe? Okay. $1, bad. $1 on our line.
I
That's
know, a
that's our food
dollar.
for the next week, my friend. Like
I could call that Vienna sausages for the next week.
that's yeah, that's like a whole like 2, 3 cans right there, buddy.
Ugh, God. All right. On to a fellow Ukrainian, the beloved Lomachenko. So, Lomachenko's promoter, Bob Arum, has announced or has revealed that he said Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson is a fight that has to be made the not too distant future potential next year. So it's
Mm.
either sometime next year, is what he's saying. Because Lomachenko wants to come back in October, right? Which he does need a tune up fight. I think it's all agreed upon that that man needs a tune up fight.
He does.
But,
Or not, I don't know. It's Loma.
man, I'd say a tune up fight. I don't care who you are, man. You need one.
That's
If
true.
you've been gone for that long and you've seen combat and stuff, sometimes you just need it, you know.
Yeah.
But so, what do you think about this? Is this too soon for both fighters? If this does happen, who would you pick, Isaiah?
Um I do think this is a little bit too soon, if I'm being realistic. Um I'm not saying that Loma can't absolutely stomp Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely can. Um the amount of accolades that Loma has, his amateur record, his professional record, the people he's fought, it shows. He is the reason why boxing is changing is because of him, or one of the reasons it is.
Oh, so it's
Um,
not Jake Paul?
oh no, no, I mean maybe, but that's the other reason. No, no, no. He's fuck that guy. Get that guy out of here. Talk about Loma, bro. Um, no, but like someone like that, um, it only comes around once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah.
and I'm really glad that we're alive to see him. Um,
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm not saying that Stevenson is an easy fight. That's why I'm saying he's not an easy fight. He is
He's
a bad man, dude. He
he's so hard,
is
man.
yeah. He's like he is a textbook plus boxer.
Oh yeah, man.
Um like he's not only is he taller, he's taller and
Longer.
has a longer reach, and he uses it to great effect. That's the important part, to great effect. Like he doesn't just rely on his range, he uses it and he gets away, and then he throws a really nice combos. He goes in the perfect time, he switches it up, he switches up speed, his jab is stupid hard.
Oh yeah.
So um it's he is a an amazing fighter, no doubt of the word. Uh, I just think Loma needs some form of correct, some sort of tune-up fight, some kind of journeyman maybe,
Not a journeyman.
or just like not a tomato can, a journeyman, like a
Like a Ryan.
uh, sure, yeah, like yeah, let's throw that in there. Let's fucking throw Ryan at that guy and see what happens. But I just think Loma just needs to get a little bit of the ring rust off, especially since he's been gone for so long. Um, just before that he gets into Stevenson, then we can see the true outcome of that, because Stevenson has been fighting a lot more. Um, as of recently anyway. And but either way, if those were two were to come together, um, on the better terms, meaning like Loma had a fight, I would go Loma, obviously, for sure. No doubt in my mind. What do you got?
Man, I would. Oh man, this is so hard because I can't like definitively say one side or the other. To me, this is a 50-50 fight.
Wow, that's
This is to me. It all
wow.
depends on what weight they're going to fight at, right? And how
Mm.
both fighters look after their fights. Right?
Mm.
Because Stevenson has a fight coming up. I'm going to watch that. So does Loma in October, right?
Mm.
It depends on how both of them look like. If Loma looks like he aged overnight, like he just doesn't look right anymore, man, I'll be like, damn, that's
Damn,
a
that's
hundred
even
percent. That's
more.
that's 100% on Stevenson, right? But if both fighters look like supreme, like I know they will, um, in their fights, then it's a 50-50 fight for me. However, there's just something about Stevenson that just screams, you know, that just screams special in my eyes. He's very elusive and he is just brimming with confidence. You know,
Mm.
like he will hit you and he'll smile at you and stuff like that. Freaking terrifying to see. Where you're trying to hit this guy and he's just smiling at you the whole time, and you're
And he
like,
hides behind his jab really
yeah.
well.
And he
So.
uses head movement, his foot movements really great. He has really good defense. Like in his weight class, I think he's like the lowest percentage that opponents land on him. I think like 19 or like 15% of his opponent's punches land. That is
Mm.
fucking ridiculously low, right? So his
Mm-hmm.
defense is up there. And I just think that Stevenson will figure it out. Right? He'll just figure it out and he will use his size, reach, and his youth advantage against Lomachenko.
Mm. I
I think it's a 50-50 fight. It all depends on how both of them look after
it
their fights.
yeah, it depends. It also depends on how what their yeah, mainly depends on their mentality.
Yeah,
Um, because as it's really hard to say, it's not really easy. It's easy to say. It's really hard to read Loma. Like his
yeah.
facial expression
I don't
is
even know what he's thinking sometimes.
yeah. You don't even know that he's hurt or if he broke his like we didn't even know he broke his arm in the Teofimo fight.
Until like after.
Yeah, until after. So he has a really good poker face. Um, but we've also seen Loma go against fighters that are similar or taller um than Shakur Stevenson. There is a sweet spot though where it becomes really hard, and Shakur Stevenson is in that sweet spot. I
Yeah,
would say Nakatani was a little bit too tall, um, to where like when he would fire back, Loma would get on the inside and Nakatani would still be reloading, and he
yeah.
could fire off at an angle, at a weird angle,
Mm.
and just take it all. So, but Shakur Stevenson is not that tall. He's not like that. He's just a little bit taller to the point where he has an advantage, but his reload speed's a lot faster. So sorry, his reach too. His reach is like not as long as Nakatani, but it's long enough to where it's at an advantage. That's a hard fight. I'll give it to Loma though.
He'd give it to Loma. I'd give it to Stevenson. But what's important is what you guys think, right? Write it down in the
Yeah.
comments below. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, let us know what you think, man.
Because
We're always
to me, it's very close. This is a difficult fight for Loma and for Stevenson.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
last week, our little toy thing, Ryan Garcia, has been firing shots at everyone. And
Bruh.
finally, Big Daddy Floyd Mayweather fired back. So this is what he said. He told Fight Hype this statement. He said, Ryan Garcia really wants the fight with Tank. So if you really want this fight with Tank, sacrifice. Oscar, we can make the fight happen. You're hearing it first on Fight Hype. 135 is the weight class. Tank is the A side. So, what do you think about Floyd's response?
Bro, this is gonna be a really short segment. I'm 100% on Tank. You know what I mean? It's there's no question.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Tank's elusiveness to get underneath Ryan's quick punches and deliver a blow that would take someone's lights out. And he's shown it time and time again because Tank is something else. He may be stocky, but he is a knockout artist by trade.
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't have a
really
neck,
nice to
dog.
watch. What neck?
He doesn't have one.
It's like a Lego, bro.
Bro,
It's like
he
head
looks
and
like a
then
freaking
body.
pit bull.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. Looks like a pit bull. So I'm
he
like,
does. He's dangerous. I will give it to Tank. That's it. No further explanation.
so I think about this, man. Floyd is just telling Ryan that you can't run to 140. You have to stay at 135 to fight. So
Yeah,
he's calling his bluff practically. Is what I'm
yeah. I don't
saying.
know why he's trying to move up to
I
140 and
don't know, man.
have.
It's
If you want
so
to fight someone, at least give a little bit more, right? Like if Tank's at 135 and you say that you want to fight Tank, but you also want to move to 140, you got to pick one, because you're asking them to
to
fight.
move up with
Yeah,
you, which I'm like,
just at least yeah, be a little bit more courteous. So
nah, it's
that's
fucking
that's more of a courteous
stupid,
thing.
bro. I'm like, bro, so dumb. But yeah, I agree with Floyd. I'm like, hey man,
Yeah, I'm good, but I would say Tank.
he's calling Ryan's bluff. As we all should. As we all should. We shouldn't be like, yo, Ryan, you're the king and go up to 140. Shut your bitch ass up. He's not the king, and there's nothing up at 140. The only thing up at 140 is Teofimo Lopez. That's about it.
If he moves up to 140, I would definitely like to see him fight two female, and I would definitely see that as the redemption arc, and an anime. for like a villain or something.
For Teofimo?
Teofimo, yeah, for Teofimo, I'd be like, yo, Teo, go off.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
about it. Like that's about it.
that's it.
I, hey man,
Yeah,
call him out, Floyd. Everyone, call Ryan out for this. Fight at
absolutely.
135 because 135 it's a very stacked division. It has Tank, Loma, Devin Haney, George Kambosos. It's literally littered with other notable champions and other notable fighters, rather than at 140 where it's only, I would say, two people, which is Teofimo and the current champion at 140, Josh Taylor, and that's about it. So
Nice. Next.
next, next is Ryan Garcia tweeted the following. So this is what he said. He's like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go full Ali vibes when he had to chase down Sonny Liston to make him fight. This man is terrified deep down, and I'm talking about you at Gervonta Davis. I know you see my tweets. Saying nothing or something won't save you from this whooping. What do you think about this tweet? Will he annoy Tank into fighting him at 140?
Bro, I'm reading this and like this is in the wrong section, my guy. This should be in stupid statements of the of the week. Bro, this is like one tier down.
uh,
Oh, bro, this should have been like one tier down
oh my god.
on script level. But again, we talked about this before. This is also a quick note. Like you're you're calling somebody out. At
Uh-huh.
least go on their weight terms. That's it. Like, why would you go up to 140 and have them come up to you? Is that supposed to be kind of power play? I guess. Just why just be a little bit more courteous and come down at 135?
Bro, you've been fighting at 135 for most of your professional career, dog.
Yeah, I mean, if you're calling someone out at 140 and you're going up to 140, that shows a lot of character. That means
Oh
that
yeah.
you're not scared. You're not pulling any like any other factor aside from that you're better than them. That's what you're showing to me. Like
Mhm.
for example, Loma going up in weight to fight Teofimo. He said, "Okay, I'll fight you, Teofimo. I'm going up to 140. I'm not comfortable at 140, but I know I can beat you." See, that shows a lot. You didn't even have to say anything. That shows a lot. But if you're telling me that you're gonna go up to 140 and have someone else that you want to fight go up to 142, 140 as well, why?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So
in my honest opinion, it just seems like you're already making your own excuse. Right. Especially with
yeah,
his statements last week saying he's like, I'm not coming down to 135. I'm staying at 140. If the fight doesn't happen, it's going to happen at 140.
I mean, if that's the case, you shouldn't be calling out Tank.
Exactly.
There you go.
So, what do I think about this tweet? Bro, you're not Ali. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Literally stop it. Because that's very disrespectful. One, Ali wasn't afraid of anyone. You are afraid of everyone. You're afraid of Devin Haney. You're afraid of Lomachenko. If you were so great, you would fight Lomachenko, but you're not. So stop it.
I mean, they sparred.
Yeah, and then he ran the whole time.
Yeah.
So stop it. Absolutely
So,
disrespectful to Ali and everyone else.
yeah.
Everyone sees you're a clown, so stop.
Okay, next. That shit. Next.
Next is we've reached to our favorite section of the week, the stupid statements of the week.
Yay!
So I
Should have a
think
soundboard.
this is funny because our stupid statement of the week is brought to you by our boy Ryan Garcia.
What's up, man?
So Ryan Garcia tweeted the following. All right, so this is what he said. Let's pull it up. So this is what he said. The moment Vervante Davis called my parents retarded looking, My eyes fixed on those words cost him. Yeah, it was a year ago. Some things you don't forget. You will eat that disrespect. Right? That's what he said.
Mm.
And later, Garcia retweeted a statement made by Tank Davis. This is what he said, the following. But this is what he said. Just so you have a reference, I'm beating your ass. 2018 going to cost your consciousness. You will go to sleep for over 1 minute, wake up, and then say you are sorry for those words. And what Gervonta Davis tweeted on March 14th, 2018 was this is what he literally said. Because he retarded and his parents are cousins.
What?
Yeah, that's what he said. So, what do you think about the statements Ryan Garcia made? And do you think can Ryan Garcia know how to read? Cause I've read this, and Gervonta Davis never said that Garcia's parents were retarded looking. He just said that his parents are cousins.
Bro,
Or do you think he's suffering some CTE from Luke Campbell placing him on his ass? And they're
no,
less like,
sorry, I just laughing because I was about to say, bro, this is why I don't have a Twitter. You guys are like, this is some broody ass statements, bro. Like, you can't say this shit on text. It doesn't look right. Because when I read Tank Davis's tweet, like I can't hear him say that in real life.
it's from his account, bro.
It's like
Hey man, you
because
know
he's
what?
retarded. His better
Let me share
cousins.
my screen. Let me share my screen.
I'm looking. I'm looking. All right, show me your screen.
Uh, Let me
Show me
share
your
that.
screen.
Let me share that. Let's go live.
All right, I'm looking at your screen. All right, it's swirling. Give it a second. Okay.
Right there, because he retarded. His parents are cousins.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it doesn't look right on text.
uh,
This is why I don't have a Twitter. Uh,
this is why I have a Twitter. It's freaking
this is why I don't
hilarious.
have a Twitter. This is dumb. Like who writes like this? This is like this is Ryan Garcia uh tweets almost like Tony Ferguson, bro.
Oh my god! I
Like
was gonna say
Tony,
that. I was gonna say that.
when Tony Ferguson tweets, it's like you're trying to decipher the fucking Egyptian hieroglyphics, my friend. It's like word and then like chap chap and then
Champ.
and then, and then like word and then emoji Mexican flag chap. Like why is it gotta be like that? I don't know why you guys just use fucking just
Oh my
use
god.
words, use sentences.
Oh,
I guess whatever. Maybe it's because of the character limit. Maybe I'm complaining too much, but
I'm not. This is freaking hilarious, dog.
like that's just that's I feel like this is like a reach by like media to really draw out like some form of like heat between the two. Like
Media, bro. The only one
no,
who's drawing from this
like
is Ryan,
no,
bro.
I'm saying like maybe media told Ryan, hey Ryan, can you say this? Yeah. Tech Davis said this shit in like 2018, whatever. But he said it. Go ahead and say, oh yo, you called my cat brown. Actually, it's black, bro. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. We're gonna beat your ass in 1 minute. And plus, it's the wrong tweet too. It's the wrong tweet, right? Like, it's not calling your parents retarded. It just said your parents are. It's
Cousins.
calling you
It's calling
retarded.
you. And this completely justifies that tweet, bro.
Oh my
He doesn't know
fucking
how to
god.
read.
Oh, this
He
I
doesn't know how to
can't.
read,
This is
dog.
this is why I don't have a Twitter.
Oh
It
my
just doesn't
god.
look great. It doesn't look great. I can't. I don't type. I don't see who types like that. But whatever. What
All
about
right,
you? What do you think about that?
bro. I 100% agree with Tank Davis on this, bro. He never said. He never said your parents are retarded looking.
uh, because with the Z, because he retarded, bro.
Yeah, because he retarded, bro. He is.
Bro, I can't. It just
Ryan,
doesn't
you're
look
just
right.
dumb. You're just really dumb. I think I think you should have been more offended that he called you retarded.
I,
He
I
just said your parents are cousins, and you didn't even refute that statement. That means your parents are cousins, dog.
bro, I thought Ryan's gonna go come to Vegas, bro, and just like whoosh
I don't
our
care, bro.
podcast.
If he wants to fight, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'll show up. I'll show up.
All right, show
I'll
up.
show up. I want to have my viral moment on Twitter. And
Oh
I'm
hell yeah.
like, if I can do this to you, just imagine what Tank Davis gonna do to you.
All right, fucking move on. Bro, I
All
can't.
right, this is so
I'm just reading this tweet and I'm just like,
All
so I don't
right,
have a Twitter.
so our next section is MMA news. But
Nice.
before we start that, uh, Lomachenko's promoter has a few words to tell you guys about MMA.
Oh shit.
Let's give it a listen. So this is Bob Arum, which is Lomachenko's promoter.
For me and people like me, it is not something that they ever care to see. They've watched it, it's horrible. Guys rolling around like homosexuals on the ground. I mean, it is not a sport that shows great talent. The guys who throw punches can't throw a punch to save their ass. When the punches land, the guys have no chins. These are not like boxers. They are not trained like boxers. For me, and
So this is what Bob Arum has said about
Oh
MMA.
hell no. Okay, wait. I really hope. By the way, uh, we were using OBS, guys, but Mark, you have your desktop audio recording, right?
Yeah,
Okay, making sure because otherwise it wouldn't have shown up on the
yeah,
post feed.
yeah.
But
I do.
okay, good. The anyway, I don't know why this is why I don't have a fucking Twitter, bro. I
That
like
wasn't even. Someone just put that on Twitter, but this man actually did have that.
Bro, I feel like I lose brain cells just listening to this shit on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
Hey man, that's what he said.
I
He's
lost,
like,
I
there's a
lost
bunch
the
of
brain cells.
homosexuals rolling around.
Oh man,
again,
I just
again.
that
Hey,
just
hey,
hurt me
hey.
on the inside, man. You're Bob, you're old, man. I
He's like
get
90,
it.
90 something year olds.
You're old, man. I'm just sad. Realistically, right? I was hurt because if you do not see the art in fighting in within MMA, that's just sad. I'm really sad that you don't see MMA in an artful light.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say on that, man. I can't dock an old dude for saying his opinion on between boxing and MMA because boxing and MMA they're different sports, but they're applicable.
Yeah.
Um, you can apply it. You can apply. A person in MMA can definitely box. Not maybe not well, as you can see from Ben Askren and Tyson. Sorry, not Tyson. Tyrone Woodley, but they are still applicable, and boxing is for sure applicable in MMA.
Yeah, they can strike,
Um,
man.
yeah, and there's art. There's an art to fighting. There is limits to boxing, and MMA provides that extra B side that you need.
Hmm.
There is art to kicking. There's an art to grappling. There's an art to wrestling. It's beautiful. Um,
Submissions,
there's submission. There's more to it. You know.
elbows,
So
knees.
yeah, elbows, knees.
You can use your
Oh
heel.
man, it's beautiful. So I'm just really disappointed that that Bob had to say something like that against
Mhm.
the art of fighting. You know. But whatever.
Well, I don't blame him primarily because he's just speaking up for boxing.
I get it, but
And to him, right,
still.
MMA is like a threat to the viewership on boxing.
Yeah, I would say it would have been a much better alternative if he said, "Yeah, MMA is good. It's cool, but boxing, yada yada yada." You know what I mean? Like, don't diss on MMA
Yeah.
just because it's different. I would say just give MMA its props and then talk about boxing. Then like just viewership wise, you have a lot more acceptance.
Well,
I
I think what he shouldn't have said was like they're rolling around like homosexuals. I think that one took it
no,
way
I
too
would
far.
no, not just that. I would just he said that people at MMA don't have a chin or they
Well, just look at Max
they
Holloway. He has a chin.
oh just a fucking chin, bro. Just zero reaction.
Yeah,
But
zero.
yeah, it's like zero, which is also a good and bad thing, but zero reaction. Um, I'm just sad that he doesn't see that the the extra step that it takes to be in an MMA ring.
I think that's like a
No?
majority of boxing fans.
Yeah.
That's why we have this podcast where we talk about both.
Yeah, of
So,
course, man.
right, we have a boxing fan in both of us. One
Mm-hmm.
being a little bit more knowledgeable about the sport than the other,
That's
while
Mark.
we're both,
I'm not.
well, we're also both MMA fans, and Isaiah being the more knowledgeable one compared to the other. So
Yeah.
it is possible that you can like both sports and watch both of them, right?
Yeah, it's an art. It's the art of fighting, my friend.
Yeah,
Like, is that all it
absolutely.
is?
Like I feel like you can use MMA much more effectively in an actual real life scenario
Yes, yes,
than
you
boxing
can.
you can. Right? If both of you
Yeah.
are boxers, then yeah, boxing's great for that. But
Hmm.
in I would like to say 95% of your encounters with a very hostile person on the street, MMA will be your best bet.
Yeah, you're in the clinch or on the floor.
I think the best thing is wrestling them down and then ground and pound, keeping them down there. You taking the uh, higher ground in that scenario. But if they do take you down, submissions, jiu-jitsu is like really great at that.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot of things. So always keep your mind open on everything. So on to the actual news. UFC 280's main card will be announced, but there's some reliable sources, and according to a few people, these are the fights that will be on the card. So let me pull it up. So according to this person, who's pretty he's pretty in depth with in touch with a lot of people. Especially he is one of those big contributors at the MMA fighting um, website. He has said that it would be Charles Oliveira versus Makhachev for
Okay, yeah,
the main
yeah.
event, which is
That's
already
confirmed.
that's already confirmed.
Yep.
But a second one that's on the works is Sterling versus Dillashaw, followed by Peter Yan versus O'Malley, and then Bilal Muhammad versus Sean Brady, and then Benil Dariush, who, if you guys don't know, he's the one who beat beat Tony Ferguson, and he's ranked in the top I think top 10 in the lightweight division versus Gamrot.
Mm.
So, what do you think about this, man? Who like particularly who do you think will win in the Sterling versus Dillashaw fight and the Yan versus O'Malley fight?
Like, this is pretty stacked.
Yeah, this is a very
Like,
good card.
really, really stacked. Especially like later on. I don't know, we'll talk about that later. But just, I mean, Oliveira versus Makachev alone is stacked. I that's what we wanted to see for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Um, But the one I don't know, the one that did weird me out was the Sterling versus Dillashaw fight. That one I would have never seen coming unless Dillashaw was still in the rankings. I'm not sure how that works in the UFC. Um, on what his current rank is, if he's been on PEDs or if he has to give up that rank or um because you did say that he fought recently in like a fight that I didn't quite notice. I don't think I saw it in any MMA news. If he fought
Yeah,
recently, do you know anything
so
about that?
according to this, according to UFC, he is ranked number 2 in the UFC bantamweight rankings.
Oh, okay. But did he fight recently though? I
Let's
don't remember him
see.
fighting recently.
I'm pulling up his stats and records. He fought on July 24th, 2021 against Corey Sandhagen.
Oh, and I'm guessing he won, obviously.
Yeah, he
But
won by decision all 5 rounds.
okay, okay,
He had 2 takedowns. Uh, yeah.
okay. That's you know what I have Sterling on that one.
Oh, me
After
too.
after seeing what he did to Peter Yan, then or Peter, I'm not sure. Is it Peter Yan or Peter? It's spelled differently. But after seeing what he did to him, I got Sterling on that. Um, the the Peter Yan versus O'Malley fight, I also have Yan on that. Like the fights that we have here, aside from the Oliveira one, they're like pretty one sided. In a little bit, well, Yan versus O'Malley more so than Sterling versus Dillashaw, but Yan versus O'Malley, I really don't see that playing out other than Peter Yan just absolutely
Mauling him like a bear.
mauling him. Yeah, like I don't see that going any other way.
Yeah.
Cause O'Malley has really good
Striking.
striking. I just think he gets injured way too much. Like like he got injured and put on the floor in like a couple of fights ago. I can't remember, but like he broke his foot or something. And I don't know why the other guy tried to go for a submission. If he literally, if he literally told that guy, I don't remember his name. If he literally told O'Malley to stand up, he would have won the fight because he couldn't walk forward anymore. So that was retarded. But um, yeah, I don't. That's a really one-sided fight though. The odds on that are gonna be super stacked against O'Malley. Dariush versus Gamrat, I don't. It's not like I don't care about them. I just don't know a lot about them. Aside from that, he,
Yeah.
he beat Tony Ferguson. He has a really good grappling game, black belt jiu-jitsu. Don't know a lot about Gamrat. Um, yeah, I mean that's it. I think I got Sterling and I got Yan.
So it depends on the Sterling versus Dillashaw. If Dillashaw's on PEDs, I'm picking Dillashaw. But I don't think Dillashaw's going to be on PEDs.
Oh, I hope not. I think he admitted to it, right?
Yeah, he
He
admitted
admitted.
it. It was like, hey, I took.
Yeah, I took some. Fuck that, man.
Bro, that's the
That
thing.
that just ruins your whole image, dude. I
Yeah.
can't believe you did that.
He took he took hella PEDs. It's not just like
That's so
one, it was like
sad.
multiple.
That's so fucking sad. I'm sad that he had to play around with that because I really like TJ Dillashaw as a fighter. He's the guy that sparred against Lomachenko, and we got to see that. That was really cool to see.
Well, the thing is,
Um,
I think Dillashaw, I think that's a mental thing at that point. Like, I think it's just mentally ingrained that he needs those things to perform really well.
man, but like
It's like
I
a
guess if
mental
he
block, you know? Like, you're used to having training wheels, and then when they're taken off, then you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
that's sad.
Yeah, so,
'Cause I really like TJ Dillashaw as a fighter.
yeah.
I don't
But
know.
I would pick Sterling on that one. And Peter
Yep.
Yan, I just see that as another example of what happens when a striker go against a very, very good grappler. And if you don't like watching people on the ground, Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley is not the fight for you.
Yeah,
Because I feel like Peter Yan will just take him down there.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like he has some really good inside work too, elbows, knees.
Yeah, he's
Um,
really good. Um,
yeah.
which I hope, Peter Yan beats O'Malley really good. So then he can get another rematch with Sterling. And we'll see that happen again.
Nah.
But the Dariush and Gamrot, I have Dariush on that one.
I have Darius on that one too. I don't
He's
know a lot
he's just
about
really good.
Gamrot.
I think
Yeah.
every one of these fights, except the main event, you can clearly pick who's gonna win.
Hmm.
But yeah, Dillashaw didn't look so good after his fight against Cody Sandhagen. He looked, yeah, he didn't look as sharp or as fast as he once was.
Mm.
And to me personally, I think that's because of the PEDs. Again, like PEDs can like help you with like those split second reflexes and stuff.
I
So
mean, after you're off it, it's
yeah, after you're off it, you're kind of screwed.
welcome to Earth, bro.
Yeah, so
Damn, that's
sucks
sad.
to suck, man. But this is a pretty good card.
Yeah.
So on to the next one. So the Sterling and Dillashaw fight was supposed to be on the UFC 279 card, but I think they're moving it to the UFC 280 card because they wanted to reschedule it. But it's been officially announced on UFC 279 that our boy, Mr. CTE himself, Nate Diaz, is facing Khamzat Chimaev. And I have a few
Whoa.
things. So this is what Nate Diaz said on an interview with Ariel Helwani about his game plan on beating Chimaev. Let's listen to it.
I want you with me to retire. The heck, that,
So this is
okay,
what he
why
said.
we want you with then like I want you with me to retire. I want you with me to retire. The heck, okay, why we want you with then like I want you with me.
So that's what he said.
What?
I don't want to do it. And Khamzat informed
Oh.
Dana White the following. So this is brought to you by ESPN MMA. He said, I'm going to handle Nate Diaz's funeral with the UFC. Damn, that's scary. This is gonna be honest.
Dude, dog, he's got like those eyes, man.
So, Isaiah, what do you think
Brother.
about this announcement? Is this a good fight for Nate Diaz? And who do you think will win?
That's extremely one-sided, my friend. Like I give it Nate Diaz is a fucking gangster.
Yeah, he is.
He's amazing. He's cool. You know, he may have some sort of speech impediment. His fighting though is nice. It's good to watch.
No, it's fun to watch, but he
He's
takes
fun
so
to
much.
watch. Yeah, but it's fun to watch, and he is a jiu-jitsu black belt,
Mhm.
and his gas tank is immaculate. He
Oh, yeah.
has a gas tank for years, my friend. Not days, not weeks, not months, years. He even picks up like in round nine. Oh, not round nine. Round 4 and 5. He's picking up the steam. So, man, but against Kamzat, dude, dude, you don't know who you're fighting. I mean, you know who you're fighting against, but you don't know who that guy is in there. He is. If he can do what he did to Gilbert Burns, like stand toe to toe with that guy, I'm not sure how that's gonna fare for Nate Diaz. I don't see anything in Nate Diaz's toolkit that can take Kamzat out. Kamzat has great wrestling, great takedowns, um, good takedown defense, bigger frame, stronger punches, gas tank. You know what I mean? It's the odds are for surely are surely stacked against Nate Diaz, and
Mhm.
everyone has been saying that too. Even like there was an interview with uh, what's his name, um Michael Chandler, and he said the
Mhm.
same thing too. There's nothing in Nate Diaz's toolkit that can handle Khamzat. So I don't see that going in Nate Diaz's favor at all. Zero.
Hey man, I think this is the UFC's way of saying fuck off to Nate Diaz. They literally are releasing an absolute killer on you. Dog, you shouldn't have been talking so much about fighting Ngannou and Adesanya and all this and calling Khabib a pussy. Freaking
Holy shit.
Dana White just released the freaking Grim Reaper on you.
Bro, that guy's he's fun and he's a really nice guy,
He's a
but
really
like
nice guy, but man, he's a killer, dog.
his
He's a
eyes, man.
so the thing is, so Chimaev, this is what I like. It's so really interesting and fun to watch about him. In his first, like, I think it was like his first 7 fights, there were only 4 strikes landed on him in those first 7 fights in the UFC. So if he really wants to, he can be a defensive genius in the ring. But then he fought against Gilbert Burns and he took a little bit more punishment than people were expecting, but yet he still stood there. He still stood toe to toe with Gilbert Burns and fought him at his own game.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Nate Diaz, as great of a fighter you are, unfortunately, I like to say, you don't have the punching power to really trouble Chimaev in any way. You're not really an aggressive takedown takedown offense. You don't really take down your opponents down, but when they do take you down, you have really good submission.
Yeah, he does.
So I think the only way I can see you beating Chimaev is submitting him.
Yes. Same idea too. So
Um, and my percentage
yeah,
on that happening is 5%. I
that's a
think
pretty high
that,
percentage.
that's very generous in a lot of people's books, but yeah, you got 5% chance of like submitting Chimaev, but Chimaev can submit you too, and he also has a gas tank. So yeah, this is a definitely a 98-2 type of fight in my
Yep.
in my book. Yeah, Chimaev's if Chimaev doesn't win this fight, man, it's gonna be. I'm gonna eat my words on the next podcast.
I'll do a shoey. I'll do a shoey. I'll take a shot from a shoe, bro.
I'm not gonna
Just for
take a
you, Nate.
shot, but yeah, Nate Diaz, you do this.
Eesh,
Man, this is a bad fight for you. I'll be honest.
that's a very bad fight for you. But we'll see.
Yeah, as bad as your
Wow.
speech impediment is, this and your CTE.
I'm not sure that's CTE. I'm not sure. I think he just had that his whole life, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, but at least Chimaev is gonna handle your funeral. So R.I.P. Nate Diaz.
Yeah, that's a fat rip.
So
Next.
so in an interview with a Brazilian outlet, Charles Oliveira has said the following: that if Islam wants to start the fight on the ground, I'll start playing guard. It won't make any difference to me. Every guy, Chimaev, Makachev, has fought are strikers who were afraid of getting taken down. I'm not afraid of getting taken down. Islam has a lot of work to worry about, what he's going to do. I have no weight over me, nothing. I'm 100% at what he does best. I have the record for most submissions in the UFC, and I have firepower in my hands. What do you think about this statement, Isaiah?
You know, Charles is right. He has been taken down. He has been knocked down by all the top guys, or a lot of the top guys, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, or quote unquote knockdown. Maybe he was faking it. Like in the Justin Gaethje fight, it was an obvious fake that he was trying to get him to the floor.
Yeah.
But once they're on the floor with Charles Oliveira, that's his world, man. And I, it's he. I mean, what's his name? Khabib even said in an interview. Sorry, not even. Scratch that. Khabib said in an interview that Islam is not going to be phased by the jiu-jitsu of Charles. Um, it could be the case. You know, ground and pound probably has certain positions on the ground where jiu-jitsu just isn't going to be as effective as just punching you in the face on the ground. But he said he's gonna ride him like a horse.
Okay. That,
whatever,
all right. All
whatever,
right.
whatever
Yo,
Khabib said meant
pause.
by that. Yes,
Pause.
yo, I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Pause.
Khabib in an interview said that Islam will ride Charles like a horse.
Hey, yo.
I'm not joking. Look that up. But all you viewers, you can look that up. But this is a really interesting fight because it could go either way. Because if Islam is the according to Khabib is the more complete fighter, Charles is dangerous on feet and on the ground. Maybe his weakest link would probably be his wrestling. Because the wrestling will immediately transition into jiu-jitsu. For
Yeah.
Islam, it's wrestling transition to ground pound, transition to um some jiu-jitsu back to ground pound, whatever is necessary.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what it's gonna look like on the ground. I cannot I cannot give a definitive answer on that because we've never seen it before.
No, this
We've
gonna be the
never
first time.
yeah, be like a high level fights like these. Never seen it before because the one that we would have seen was Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, but we saw how that played out.
Yeah, Tony got fucked up.
Tony got fucked up in his own game. So yeah, so man, fuck. I mean, obviously, I agree with the statement that Charles Oliveira is not afraid. He's never afraid. Um, he's an amazing fighter, and I'm glad he's at the top there. He deserves it. He's gone against the top guys, all the top guys, and beaten them all. Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje. Um,
He beat the hell out of your boy Tony
Tony
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson. Almost forgot that. Fuck.
Bro, Tony should have tapped, bro.
I was thinking about Dariush, but um,
Yeah, Tony should have tapped when he got that.
no, he was willing to give it up, man. He said
I
he's
was like, dog.
yeah.
That's the thing about Tony. Tony is about to like, he's like, I'm going to go to sleep before I tap.
I
That's the thing about Tony. He has so much pride.
he does.
Like Tony,
He will
just
always
tap.
be. He's Hall of Fame worthy for sure. I just.
Oh yeah, that was definitely.
It's just in terms of the Islam thing. I can't put like a definitive answer. It's very 50-50. It's very 50-50 because if Islam can't handle the jiu-jitsu or any groundwork
I
that Charles
think he
has to offer, if he can, then great. If he cannot, then you're in Charles' world. Yeah, that's what I have.
So what I think about this statement, man, I think this statement's great. It's a great statement to say. To tell your opponent, like, hey, by the way, you take me down there, I got something for you, you know. And it just, to me, it's very good for a fighter to be confident about whatever scenario he's placed in.
Mm.
So it's a positive thing for me that Charles is saying this, even though I'm leaning towards Islam to win. But both of them, this is a 50-50 fight. It's just gonna be so interesting to see what happens. Cause man, this is where it like comes to head, where it's like the notoriously famous Russian sambo wrestling will be finally going against Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So yeah, the, if you guys don't know what Russian sambo wrestling is, look it up. It's a lot of ground and pound.
It's
A
nuts.
lot of ground and pound. Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous. Like they take you down. While they're taking you down, you're getting hit with a hammer fist, knees, elbows. They're just like fully like beating you up as they take you down. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting.
yeah, and we'll be there to watch it.
Yes, we're gonna be there to watch it. We're not gonna stream it because that's illegal.
But we'll let you know how it went.
We'll let you know how it went, and you guys should watch it too. Support your fighter, man. Support your fighter.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, next topic is Daniel Cormier told the Pivot the following statements, actually. So, this is what he said to the Pivot. Man, you did some stuff to my career that never let me settle. Because now I don't know. I could know through the fights that maybe this dude is just better than me. But I also know that if you're not doing the things that you're boosting you, can you really work at the level that I'm working? I can't let it go. He is a cheater. What do you think about DC's statements? And personally for you, can you let go of a loss if you found out your opponent cheated?
I mean, what he says is true. He is a cheater.
Yeah.
He's been caught with PEDs.
You got caught with
Um,
PEDs, cocaine, everything.
I mean, if they were to run it back, it would be really interesting to see what that would be like without his PEDs. Um, but he never. The thing is, though, he never outworked John Jones at all. To be fair, um, John Jones was just a different animal in there, like prime John Jones.
Yeah, there
That
wasn't there
dude is
wasn't
nuts.
a moment in their entire fights that I've seen where I was like, "Yo, DC actually should have won that."
Yeah, because I mean, there's a point in which PEDs gives you an edge, but if you're talking about like technical advantages, like in terms of movements, like how the fight went in terms of movement choices, positioning,
Yeah, so like
strike
yeah, a
landed.
lot of the choices,
Yeah,
like
it's
punch
no.
placement, takedowns, knees, all these PEDs don't play a part. Where
No.
PEDs play a part is your stamina, muscle growth, power. Right, those are the
I
things where it starts coming into play.
yeah, and I never really I mean, yes, if I probably couldn't let that go if it was based off of who cheated and who didn't, who did and who didn't cheat. But I mean, can't really do anything about it now. It just he's already retired, and John Jones is trying to find another fight, unless Daniel Cormier wants to come out of retirement or
Nah,
something.
nah, nah, nah.
But yeah, I mean, just based off of the two or three fights that they had, two or three fights. I don't remember how many fights they had, like two or three.
I thought it was like two.
Two. Okay, then it's probably gonna end up the same because John Jones has more in his toolkit than dealing with wrestle movements.
Yeah, he's a wrestler himself.
He's the wrestler himself. He got his elbows are nasty, his knees are nasty, his kicks are nasty,
Bro, he
his
is so long too. He's
yeah,
so
and he uses
long.
it to great effect. His block, his striking is nasty. His shoulder usage of his shoulder or other people's shoulders is nasty. Like trying to do like imagine like I've never seen someone get like submitted on the cage standing up.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
freaking
it's
submitted Lyoto Machida that way, and I was like, damn.
yeah. Even
Like,
even even Kamzat during his an interview, he said that John Jones is the goated.
yeah,
So
in terms of his resume and his like pure talent, hell yeah, dog. He's the
yeah, that
goat.
he's nasty. He's dangerously nasty.
Yeah, dog. This guy is crazy good. If you guys haven't seen any of John Jones fights, you should. He's like the youngest champ as well,
Oh yeah.
and it was just unfortunate that he started partying too much, taking so many substances, beating his fiance. Kind of
Yeah.
sucks. But for me personally, if I do agree with DC's statement firstly, but for me personally, if I found out my opponent it depends on the level of what they were doing, right? So if it's PEDs, I wouldn't be so angry about that. Um, One of the reasons is PEDs gives him like a natural, well, not natural, but more of like a physical advantage over me. But at the end of the day, he has to decide where the punch placements are and stuff like that. However, where I would be absolutely salty is if I found out my opponent had like like actual concrete or plaster in their gloves while they're punching me and it completely fucks me up. I'll be so angry about that. I would not. I would like not let that go. I would like call them out every single time I had a chance to. But PEDs, there have been times where people have been caught with PEDs and they've lost fights. Um, one good example is in boxing. There was a fighter named uh, what's his name? Let me pull it up. Oh, Fernando Vargas. There we go. Fernando
Mhm.
Vargas fought against Oscar De La Hoya in the 90s, and Fernando Vargas was juiced to the gills. This man had hella PEDs, human growth hormones, everything in his blood system. Like, they tested fighters not before the fights, they tested them after the fights, right? It was so dumb.
Oh my god, that's retarded.
Yeah. So they tested him after the fight, and his sample was glowing. That's how much PEDs he had. Oh my gosh. And guess what? Oscar De La Hoya beat the fuck out of him. He beat him up so bad. He beat him up. And again, it doesn't matter like if you have PEDs. It matters about your technicality and how you use your skills. PEDs help to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's you who's pulling the punches, not the drugs.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
my take on it. If my opponent was on PEDs, I wouldn't be so angry. I'd be angry if he had like stuff in his gloves or stuff like that, which made his punches a lot harder than mine based on cheating like that. And I'll be like, hell yeah, bro. Fuck you.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, that's. But you know, if you have a different take on that, maybe we're seeing something that you don't. Let us know, man. Let us know, girl. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know the
Yeah.
gender analytics yet, but let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. So we are on to our last section, which is the other news. And Isaiah has a few things to talk about.
Cool. So this part, you know, we're still experimenting around with the formula and stuff. So this
Mhm.
part's gonna be relatively short. Um. So what we're gonna do here is probably pull up some other things that's not related to MMA or boxing potentially. We'll still play around with it. Let us know if you guys what we should add. You know, maybe you want to talk a little bit about gaming or or like maybe not so much political news. I feel like that's a little bit that'll get a little bit too far. But
Yeah, if it was
I think
political news, I'm gonna be so heated.
bro, it's gonna get
Uh,
fucky in there. But let us know if you want that. I don't know. Maybe we'll
yeah,
see.
you don't want to
Yeah, we'll
hear me
get heated in
yelling
there,
about stuff. I'm down.
bro. We'll get heated in there. Um, but for this sake, we're just gonna talk about some quick science news that we found. You know, it's always great to know about the world around you because they don't get much attention. But the one article that I have for you today is that the tiny sea bears, the microscopic sea bears called tardigrades, they could teach us how to handle the rigors of space travel. So we're always worried about like not worried, but always wondered how we could survive, space travel, especially how light year works and how far we have to travel in order to reach that distance. But according to this article from the Science News, by Douglas Fox, he says that no beast on Earth is tougher than the tiny tardigrade. It can survive being frozen at negative 272 Celsius. And for you in the English department, I have no idea what that I have no idea uh, what that conversion is, but you can do that in your head. But negative 272 Celsius, being exposed to the
So
vacuum
that
of outer space.
is. So if you think about it, negative 273 Kelvin is like closest to absolute zero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that one in our imperial in terms of Fahrenheit, that is fucking ridiculously cold. Like that's ridiculously cold. That's like if we went to the middle of winter in the Antarctic, that would be not even close to that point. It just so cold.
So basically, they can survive that.
Yeah, they.
So they can insanely cold. A little less cold than my ex's heart, but we'll go with that. Just kidding. So
I
they
hope
can
your
even
girlfriend doesn't
withstand.
read this.
What do you mean? Yeah, fuck your ex was cold. Okay, we'll go there. But they'll even survive being blasted 500 times the dose of X-rays, which would usually kill a human. They can survive that. So it says here that the talagrade's indestructibility stems from its adaptation to its environment, which may seem surprising since it lives in seemingly cushy places like the cool, wet clumps of moss that dot the garden wall. But it turns out the tardigrade's damp, mossy home can dry out many times in a year. Drying is pretty catastrophic for most living things as it damages its cells in the same way that freezing or radiation does.
It's dry like my DMs.
Fuck. Maybe some juice rolled for that one. But as tardigrades dry out, its cells gush out several strange proteins, and these proteins are floppy and shapeless. But as water disappears, the proteins self-assemble into long, crisscrossing fibers that fill the cell's interior, kind of like styrofoam packing peanuts.
Ooh.
So yeah, so the fibers support the cell's membranes and proteins,
Mm.
preventing them from breaking or unfolding. So, um, scientists have already inserted the gene for this protein into human cells in the lab, and many of these modified cells survive levels of X-rays or peroxide chemicals that kill ordinary cells. And when inserted into tobacco plants and an experimental model for food crops, the gene for the protein seems to protect the plants from exposure to DNA damaging chemicals called ethyl methanosulfate, methanosulfonate. Methanous sulfonate. There you go. So plants with the extra gene grew more quickly than those without. So these packing peanuts protein that the tardigrades have show early signs of being protective for humans. So we know how this will help with like maybe the aging process, or if we can survive long journeys to space, because the nearest thing is like I don't know, fucking 40 light years away.
Mm-hmm.
Then shit, this is like the right direction we're going, all because of a tiny sea bear. And that is the science news that I have. We'll have more later on maybe, but for now, that's all I have. Back to you, Mark.
Hey, man. In terms of something a little bit more present and relevant as of today, inflation is a huge problem, not just here in the United States, but all across the world. There are countries getting closer and closer to defaulting. What that means is they no longer make enough to pay off the debts that they have. So that could collapse their entire economy, like what happened in Greece in the mid 2000s. Man. So my question to some of you, as well as to Isaiah, is what do you think we should do to combat inflation? Because if you guys, even if you don't like keep up with like political news or any news, everyone's just talking about it, right? We all feel it, right? We all see it, right? Gas here where I'm from normally is around like 325 to like 360, but now it's around like $5, 560, almost $6, right? That's ridiculous. And across the United States, gas is going higher, right? Inflation rate is around 9.1%, is what I'm hearing about on the news. And all these, whether it's politicians or like your crazy uncle, they're all saying inflation, inflation, but no one is speaking about how to fix it. So I'm curious as to like you guys. Like I just want to like pick at your brains and like what do you guys think will help solve inflation? Like if you guys have a degree in economy or anything like that, we'd love to hear it. So I'm going to throw it to Isaiah on his thoughts. So what do you think we should do to solve inflation, my guy?
That is a really hard topic for me because I don't know all the toolkits that you could use to have the greatest effect with the least amount of resistance for the people. I mean, probably the most retarded yet like obvious one that people are probably going to say that if you have like a 5-year-old brain, you're going to say, "Oh, print more money."
That is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, it's the worst thing
It's the
that you
worst
can
thing you
do.
do, man.
Look at Venezuela, bro. They're like, why don't we print
Oh.
more money? And then, yo, boom.
So let me tell you
Course,
guys
what?
something really quick. In undergrad, I did a research on Zimbabwe.
Oof.
I never got to go to the country primarily because there was a lot of problems there, and there was also problems here in the United States, and I couldn't really go. I was like, damn. But I did a research and did some research on Zimbabwe, and they have hyperinflation, and what that is something absolutely horrible. To buy one like the rotisserie chicken you get from like your Costco or Sam's Club or Walmart, right? That one for us is around $5, but for them, it's roughly around, I think it was 10 trillion Zimbabwe dollars.
Oh my God.
That's what happens when you print so much money. You shouldn't do that because the value of that loses. It loses a lot of value. And another example is, after World War One, Germany suffered hyperinflation, and that's why you see a ton of pictures during that time. People like carrying barrels and barrels of cash to buy one piece of bread.
Oh my god.
So we are currently, if we continue to do this, heading towards that direction where my reliance on our podcast will no longer be no longer be sustainable for my lifestyle of living by the library. But continue on, Isaiah.
No,
What you
I
think?
mean if uh well money well like anything of trade values based on supply and demand. I'm not sure if the US dollar still leads the world in that, if it's the euro or the dollar.
Oh, the euro and
We're still up
dollar are
in there.
finally like aligned of equal
Okay.
value now.
Okay.
That's
Then
bad.
oh fuck. It's also about supply and demand. And if that's the case, then you're gonna have to find a way to increase the value of the dollar or increase the value of just the currency in general or increase the value of things. I
Mhm.
wouldn't know how to um I remember like we talked about this in like in like in economics class about
Yeah.
how like inflation works. Um I don't know. Just Thanos snap half the people, boom. increase, increase, increase demand, more supply, inflation fixed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or hmm, from what I remember correctly, to decrease inflation, or if you wanted to increase inflation, then you would just have just basically find a way to give more people money to buy things. If you get more people to buy things, then the value of money becomes less, inflation increases. So find a way to have people start saving money to increase the value of things. To give you a straight answer on that, I have no idea because I don't want to give you like the Thanos snap idea.
Hey man,
So yeah.
there's so many ways you can look at this. Uh, One way is, so the thing is a lot of people are afraid about is hitting a recession.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we've had a recession every 5 to 8 years in our history. Some recessions are worse than others, but we always have a recession, and the market just recovers from it, right? But the thing is, what we're doing is trying to prevent a recession, and that's what's like pushing us further and further into inflation by doing by doing that. And the the best thing is just increasing goods and services to do
Mm.
that. Producing more goods, producing more services, to where people starts buying more, right? Buy. So then prices go down because, again, if we flood the market with set amount of things, that said thing is going to lose its value because there's too much. So supply and demand.
Mm.
Likewise, if we have too much money out already, we need for that money to go away, and the best way for it to go away is to buy things.
Yeah, so basically don't give people more funds to do things that you would do that if you wanted to increase inflation, but you want to increase the services in which people do use their money, then
Yeah,
that would decrease inflation.
but there are others on a different mindset, which is just have the market collapse.
Oh,
There's
nah.
that mindset, right? There's that mindset where they're like, just collapse it, collapse the whole thing. You know,
That sounds like a bad idea.
let that bubble pop. Pop that pimple, bro. Uh, but when that happens, right, everything is going to crash. The market's going to crash. The real estate market's going to crash. Value's going to crash. But, all right, once it hits down, there's only one way it's going to go. It's going to go back up. So we're going to recover.
Oh my
That's some
God.
people. That's what some people want, is for the thing to just crash. Because if it does crash, then the people who've saved money and have cash, right, not using credit, like actual hard cash in their banks or pulling it from whatever funds they have, they can purchase the cleanup. You know, they can purchase the homes that are being foreclosed, uh, all the investments, all the different shares in companies, because everything's crashing, you know. And that will slowly build the market back up. But I think that is an extreme way to solve the solution.
Very extreme.
That's very extreme. I think what we need to do is just increase productivity, increase produced goods, increase all of that.
Mhm.
But I don't know why, but it's fucking hard. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, if it was an easy answer, people have done it by now.
Yeah,
So
but that's why our U.S. government in particular. I'm not gonna say all the governments in the world, but the U.S. government in particular is increasing interest rates. That's why interest rates are fucking high right now.
Mhm.
So that's one way. Or another way, this is my take on it, is just forgive all the student loans you have.
Oh hell yeah! Dude, they're still pushing that back, by the way. Student loans
Yeah,
for you and I, they're still pushing that back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still got mine.
Heck yeah.
No, but yeah, if you forgive all the student loans, all those students who just graduated out of college, who have like a starter or basic level job at whatever company they have, they don't have to split their entire paycheck to pay off student loans or whatever debts they have. They can use that into the market.
Oh hell yeah. Please.
Please. Yeah, man. I think I
Hell
think
yeah.
I think that would be
It's like,
one way of approaching this.
I mean,
Right.
you could also politically spin it and say that COVID hit us pretty hard. Here's what we're gonna do. God bless USA.
Shut the fuck up.
So just politically spin it that way, and boom, you get public uh cookie points, and then you also get minus inflation. So
Yeah, and inflation is it. The thing is, economics is just so hard to deal with. There's so
yeah,
many
it's
different
not an easy
factors,
answer.
and yeah, you could be angry at your local politician or Joe Biden, but the thing is, Joe Biden doesn't control the gas price.
No, but he is old though.
Yeah, he is old, but I don't know why. I don't understand how people are blaming him for the gas price when we are in a capitalist society where the federal government can't like take over a privately owned company and control that price that they're making.
But he's making some tweets about gas prices. So I don't know about that one, Chief.
So what he's doing is pressuring the companies to lower the price. But the companies are an autonomous organization where they don't have to listen to the federal government. They just have to meet the regulations and requirements.
Him
Right.
or the people behind him,
Uh,
because he's old as shit.
practically the people
I'm
behind.
sorry, man. He's old as fuck. He can't say shit.
Yeah, but I don't know why the Democrats nominated him as the president when
I don't fucking know,
there
man.
was a clearly younger person who could have done it. So annoying. But
Oh well.
I think a good learning point is don't blame the president for high gas prices because he doesn't control that.
Yeah, as much as we dock on Joe Biden, even though he is considered the leader, it is more to that. It's a party system. There's more parts to it.
Yeah, again,
So
he can say all he wants. The CEO of the huge oil companies are the ones who control that.
mhm.
Again, if
We can get more. We can get more into that later. That's the whole political side that we will not fucking dive into yet.
yeah, that is a whole
So,
political side that you don't want to get into. But
no.
I think the last few things is I'm going to ask you: have you seen that new documentary about what is a woman?
Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. No, I have not seen it. I don't want to see it, and I swear to fuck.
No, Joe Rogan was
So
talking
bad.
about it on his podcast,
Yeah.
and it's literally this guy going around all the universities and around all the people who study gender studies, you know.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah, you know. I had to take one of those classes, but anyway,
Bro.
I had to.
Bro.
It was for my degree, and I was like, I
I
can't
had
believe.
to.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like, so dumb.
You were in the liberal arts college too.
I was. It was so fucking retarded. I swear to God. Anyway, keep going. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so he goes around and he literally just asks random people. He's like, no, he asks all these like these professors and very educated people and members of that type of community. He's like, hey, what is a woman? And literally, they were like, anybody can be a woman.
Oh, fuck.
And he just he just asked them, like, not in a very confrontational way. He just said, what is a woman? And some of them just beat around the bush, talk, and never give like a straight answer of what is a woman. It just seems like a very open-ended thing to most of their answers.
It's so fucking dumb. Like it's like what these people are.
Oh,
Not these, I want
Isaiah.
to. I don't want to. I don't want to
We're gonna
like.
get canceled.
No, we're gonna get fucking canceled. But I don't give a shit if you can't define what a woman is, right? If you can't simply say that it is a human being with an XY chromosome with the ability to give birth.
But
I
then
mean,
people are like, "There's a woman."
I swear to fuck. It's not even like that. That's you're doing like. I bet these people are gonna be like, if you follow up if you give a follow up question and say, "Are you for women's rights?" They're gonna say, "Hell yeah, I am." But then what you're doing is like absolutely degrading that because now you're saying that women don't have, like they don't have to have the ability to have an XY chromosome or like they don't that doesn't make them a woman, even though that's like a complete outlier in the grand scheme of things, the generality of it. Then no, then you're not for women's rights. You're completely destroying it. So
The
I
thing
mean,
is, I think what's very troubling is they are not they are not defining it at any point. They're just describing
yeah, but you're exactly
to
you're
their
not.
own
You're gonna
definition.
yeah. So you're gonna say that. Oh yeah, that's a really strong woman. But okay, what does that mean though?
That's
But
true.
if you can't even define what that means when you say, "Oh, that's a strong woman moment,"
Mm-hmm.
then what are you doing? If why would you make it ambiguous like that? I get like your whole argument of, you know, there are things that women and men can do homogeneously or like simultaneously,
Mm-hmm.
but there are differences between them, not bad or good differences, just differences. That's it. One has an XX chromosome, one has an XY chromosome.
There's a lot of things, man.
One has sperm, one has eggs. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The fuck? Okay, so but yeah, I don't want to get too bad to that. We can, you know what, we can fucking open that next time if you want. But like um
Isaiah's definitely trying his best to avoid that.
I'm trying to avoid this, but like just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Guys who cannot who can't fucking Like I bet if you say, "Oh, what's a man?" I bet you can do that shit easily.
Hey man,
Double
some
standards.
people gonna be like, a man is a person who is courageous, strong. Da,
Who
da, da,
respect
da.
others.
Yeah,
Okay, why don't you say the same thing? Like you, okay, you can say the same thing about women too.
yeah. Women can be strong and
Yeah, they
courageous.
can be. Yeah, but see,
Oh,
the point is you don't try. You just say they're undescribable, bro.
oh my
Oh, yeah,
gosh.
that's my take on it. Next.
Well, next. Oh man, this
But
take
we're
this take might actually get us super canceled, but super canceled. like we're not gonna get canceled by that
oh
one.
shit.
This one's kind of interesting on a front because have you ever like heard of like a female or a woman as a Navy SEAL?
No.
So you know that very same group of people who are like, being the social justice warriors. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to shit on them. Like some of them
Yes, you
are
are.
actually. I'm trying to save my image here, but no. Um, some of them are fighting for something that's actually worth fighting for, right? Same-sex marriage and
Sure.
interracial
Yeah.
marriage and all that, abortion rights and all that, right?
Sure.
Great. But there is a fine line. There's a point where it's starting to become ridiculous, where they're like screaming out that the U.S. military is sexist, particularly the Navy SEALs, because they don't have women in the Navy SEALs.
Oh my fuck. It's because you can't because no one has passed the exam as a woman. That's it.
It's
You
not
can't.
only that, but there was a person who was talking about who is a Navy SEALs, like a part of the recruitment, who's like, no woman is recruiting, no woman is signing up to recruit into it.
Yeah. That means they don't want to.
Not only that, but it's everyone is the exam. Their selection process is same across the board. Every
Yes.
guy, no matter like even short guys who are 5'2", tall guys who are 6'5", white guys, black guys, Asian, Latino, whatever you want to call them, they're all put into the same boat, and they are all scrutinized to the extreme levels that they are put into. Days on end without sleep, malnutrition, nearly drowning them, ridiculous mental breakdowns that they push them through. And most of them quit. And the ones who actually stay are actual animals. Those guys are
It's,
ridiculous.
yes, because that's what you need.
Yeah, this is a special forces.
Exactly.
This is not the Boy Scouts, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or like or anything.
If you like, I'm pretty sure if a woman were to do that and they were to get through that, that'd be fucking amazing. But no one has done that yet. And
Yes.
no, you can't reduce the terms for. Okay, here's the difference. In the U.S. military, um there are different criteria for men and women to pass their own exam,
Mm-hmm.
PT exam.
Yeah.
There are different criteria for men and women, right? But for the Navy SEALs, if
That's a
there is
different one.
one, there is no one for men and women. You can't do that. You don't. That's not what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking for just more people in the regular infantry, right? You are looking for more people, men and women. That's why it's better to have a two system, a two PT system
Yes.
where there's different criteria. But for Navy SEALs, you are looking for a specific type of person.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
small group out of a big population of 350 million people
exactly.
to do the unthinkable and to protect the nation's interests at large.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Things that you don't see on the news.
What they do is extremely difficult. And even strong willed men can't pass that. It's just the program itself. And the ones who do pass it are worthy of being called Navy SEALs because what they go through is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yes.
I would highly recommend people to watch a documentary on like Navy SEALs and their training.
Mm-hmm.
You will see exactly what they go through.
It's ridiculous.
It is. It is. And
And just to top it off, just if any women can do that, all power to you.
yeah, go for
But
it.
it hasn't happened. That's the
What
thing. So you can't just blame the system.
what I don't agree with is to lower the standards so women can join.
Exactly. No, why would you do that? That's like opposite of the point that you're trying to make. You're trying to say women are as strong as men, but yet you're reducing the terms of it.
And not only that, but I think you shouldn't reduce the standards of the most highly elite group of any
U.S.
special
military,
forces
yeah.
around the world. You shouldn't lower the expectations. You shouldn't lower the standards for that.
No, that's how we fucking die.
That's how we are
That's how
still on top of the world, bro.
Yeah, that's how we
USA,
lose.
baby.
There's shit that you don't see. I'm pretty sure there's shit that me and Mark don't see in the world that's happening right now, and they need to happen for a reason.
Oh yeah,
They're just not
absolutely.
publicized, but they're necessary.
Yeah, they are necessary, and sometimes you know what we call that the necessary evil, right?
Yeah,
Um,
there's a gray area.
yeah, but I think if you are going to like get really angry at us in the comments, really consider that. You know, this is where sometimes it seems like Isaiah and I come off as really sexist or really fucked up at times. We're not. We're not. We're not. Right. But the thing is, the military at its core is to protect and serve the population. And you need individuals, men, women, or other, to be willing to take that bullet. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the Navy SEALs are really the cream of the crop, the tier
Yeah.
ones of the world, right? And if a woman can go through that selection process and make through it and actually granted as a Navy SEAL, fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Actually,
All
you
power
know,
to
the,
you.
the more I think about that, we go further. Is there actually a woman?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. 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 Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Oh, there is.
No, there's not.
Here, July 15th, 2021. For the first time, a female sailor has completed the grueling 37-week training course to become a
Oh wait, shit. Wait, that's real?
naval special warfare
Oh,
combatant craft crewman.
Wait, a crewman?
Yeah.
Oh.
A boat operator who transports Navy SEALs and conduct their own classified missions at sea.
But is she part of the Navy SEALs? Did she pass through buds?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's.
I think
If she passed through buds, then yeah, that's what we're looking for. If they pass through buds, has a woman ever passed buds? BUDS.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so according to oh, she has. Yep,
Hey,
one.
she did.
Nice. Yep.
Damn.
So first female
Fucking
sailor completes Navy
awesome.
Special Warfare training. Thank God. Okay. So my mistake. She did go through Buzz, and she did go. She went through it.
Oh man, I'm actually really
Yep.
happy. I'm really happy.
All right. No, I was looking at something else, and it said that no female has done it. But yeah, they have one in 2021.
Fucking awesome,
We need more of that. You know.
bro. I did not know that, man. Bro, this is the problem. The media should have freaking covered this, and
Yeah. I
this
don't.
should have been on like CNN and like Fox
Maybe it
News.
was. This was last year though, so maybe we were just on it. So, but yeah, good shit.
Good on her,
Oh.
man. Fuck. She'd beat the fuck out of both of us, though.
She probably would.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But hey,
Alright, well, I mean, good shit. Good shit. Good on you.
good.
That's what we need. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, good on you, man. Thing is, we're not. I'm all for women joining the Navy SEALs. What I'm not for is lowering the standards,
Absolutely.
right? Just for a bunch of people to join in. Because if they lower the standards, that means Isaiah and I can join the Navy SEALs.
Mhm.
And clearly, both of us are not physically capable to do that. I don't. 37 weeks of that grueling training I've seen. I really thought about it. I was like, bro, I would fucking die. And not only that, but they have to. You have to be a part of another special ops unit, whether that's the Green Berets, the Rangers, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Just don't lower the standards. Just have people come up to it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
That's just it.
That's why my professors were always against curve.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you set the curve, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Whenever there was a curve, I made it my goal that there was no curve at all by scoring 100. That's me, guys. That's the student I was in college. You would hate me as a classmate in class.
I would. I never shared a class with them, so I'm good.
We never shared a class.
I'm good.
I've always wanted to. I was like, God.
No,
damn it.
I never did. We were different schools to study, so I know I don't want to be part of his curve.
I wanted to
Alright.
be. I wanted to give everyone that curve, bro. But anyway, thank you guys
Yeah.
for
Thank
hanging
you
in
guys.
with us. Listening in, and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Comment in any of our sections that we talked about, whether you agree or disagree, and shoot, maybe next week if we get people to comment and stuff, or contact us on any platform to address that in one of our sections, and we might put it in a section maybe before other news as reactions to comments.
Yeah, dude. If we get like one comment, bro, we'll fucking die on that. Like, holy fuck, oh, shit, we got a comment. Oh my god. It's like be like Christmas for us, man. We'll put that shit on the news.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Next
bro.
time that
We'll
pops
talk about. We'll go really in depth with your comments, right?
Even if it says something like I don't know, fucking tacos or burritos.
It's like, why don't you answer my question? We'll go into that. Yeah, I remember those people.
But yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
really
go.
glad that you're joining us this week. And we will hopefully comment and we will be on it.
Yeah, join us next week. We do this weekly. If you guys comment and be like, "Hey, we want you to do more," subscribe,
we will.
recommend more to your friends, and then this will become more viable for both of us.
Oh hell yeah. Well, we'll move from the we'll move, bro. We'll move from the homeless shelter to fucking YMCA, you know? Moving up in the world.
The YMCA, and then from there, we'll move into like a freaking studio.
Yeah, no, the really shitty Queens of studio, bro. We'll get there. Not yet, but we'll get there.
Man, I hate living in the studio. I'll be honest. I thought about it too.
Oh my god, it's expensive in New York, but we can go more on that later. We can go more.
Yeah, no, we don't live in New York.
We don't live in New
Just
York.
to be honest, we live on the West Coast.
Yep.
He lives on the farthest west coast.
I'm as west as before you can go east, my guy.
Yeah. He's from the
But yeah.
land of the rising sun.
I'm not from the land of the rising sun. でも、日本人がいます。でも、日本語を、ちょっと話します。それからコメントください。
あなたは
Please comment.
かっこいいですよ。That's all I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all I taught him. I'm so sorry. That's all he knows.
Yeah, again, I don't speak Japanese, but if you do, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
see you
next week.
guys next week.
Shoots.